Greetings. This is Dr. Druid talking to you from the heart of Virginia, and also with the heart of a Druid from the heart of Ireland. My goal in this talk and in others to come is to show the most modern research relating to who we are as a species, and to relate that to the ancient wisdom, the ancient knowledge that has come down to us from the very distant past, in my case through the wisdom of the Druids. My focus today is on DNA, memory, and healing. The definition of healing comes really from the Old English word hail. We still use that term as hale and hearty. Also, there's a similar word that we still use, which is weal, W-E-A-L. We now speak of it as well, or wellness. We speak of it as commonweal or commonwealth, and the state of Virginia is a commonwealth. So weal and heal are two very interlocking and almost synonymous words. The World Health Organization has a definition of illness, but it's not very helpful. It says it's just the absence of illness, which really doesn't get you very far if you use that as an understanding. My favorite is to describe it as an integration of mind, body, spirit, and emotions in balance, which is a blueprint of the original 8-cell Adam-Kadmon body of light. Healing involves a multitude of modalities, and I will explain that as we go through the talk. I will focus on DNA for now. It's double-stranded, it's in a helix formation, it's spiral, it's vortexial, and hyperdimensional. It has come down to us as a symbol of the caduceus, which is the symbol for medicine. It is two interlocking spiral snakes, which the snake was a symbol of wisdom in the ancients, for the ancients. So DNA is holographic, it's fractal, it's numerical, and it is coded language. Now, 90% of our DNA is actually outside of the helix formation. It is commonly referred to as junk DNA because it has not, the reason for its being there has not been elucidated. But it certainly is not junk. Just like we function on just 20% of our brain power, that does not mean that the 80% that's unexplained is junk. So DNA, like computer software, can feed its data into a network of consciousness, call up data from it, and network with others. So it's far more than just an interesting collection of chemical molecules and bonds. It has potency in and of itself, as I will show. There are greater than 4 million gene switches which control the health and disease of our bodies, and these are caused by tiny changes in these switches, and as time goes by, more and more of these switches are being elucidated. 80% is active, but less than 20% has a higher function not yet decoded, and this, in my understanding, is where the exciting part of discovery is going to lead us, for we will come upon our true nature. It's encoded within our bodies. Now, modern researchers, such as the team led by Russian Pyotr Garjajev, G-A-R-J-A-J-E-V, says our DNA is responsible for our body. but also serves as data storage and communication. The genetic code, he says, follows the same rules as our language. Syntax, that's phrasing; semantics, that's meaning; and grammar. So language is a reflection of our DNA. It's not just some epiphenomenon that developed out of incoherent grunts and squeaks by our ancestors. Language comes directly out of our DNA. It vibrates in the gigahertz range. He tells us that, quote, living chromosomes function like holographic computers using the endogenous DNA laser radiation. I will say that once again because this is very profound and changes everything. Living chromosomes function like holographic computers using the endogenous DNA laser radiation. So the way our genes work, our DNA works, is not by a simple clockwork mechanism of splicing and dicing. They function in a computer form using our own endogenous photonic radiation. Our DNA actually emits light. On the spiritual path, we're told that we are beings of light. And it's true. It's physically true. We do emit light. It can be picked up using very sensitive light meters. Our very DNA produces this light. He was able to modulate patterns onto a laser ray and thus influence the information itself. So this is interesting. By using specifically formulated patterns of light, he was able to alter the functioning of DNA. He transformed frog embryos to salamanders. Again, an astonishing achievement, showing that DNA is far more, as I said before, than just an interesting collection of chemical compounds and bonds. He showed there was no decoding necessary. So he was able to shine modulated light through the DNA and have it manifest in a specific way. Research using radio and light frequencies to repair genetic defects is possible. Even X-ray damage can be healed. This is very important. There is also the phenomenon of, quote, phantom DNA, unquote. This is detectable by laser light even when the sample of DNA is removed from the medium. The human gene is part of larger holograms or multiverses of wave information. So this explains telepathy, remote sensing, and remote healing, and show them not only to be possible, but gives a very obvious mechanism, explainable mechanism. Our DNA is changing. It's not static. Galactic torsion waves. These are waves which come from the center of our galaxy. They reorganize our DNA, causing evolution. It's the probable cause of the sudden spurts of evolutionary development that we already know about in our earth sciences. We have two strands that we're aware of, but there's now a third becoming apparent in certain people. Our potential is to have 12 strands of DNA. The spiritual wisdom of the ancients tell us this. The Adam Kadmon potential. The very rate of radiation decay has been influenced by these torsion waves. There's a 1/10 of 1% increase of the rate of decay of radioactive particles. So things are changing. As they said back in the 60s, there's something going on. It's something profound, something magical, and something mystical, of course, too. This third strand of DNA has given rise to the pseudonym Crystal Children. So the 75,000-year-old cycle that we are currently in is coming to an end. It may in fact be already over. Communication with our own psychic powers uses magnetized wormholes, miniature versions of bridges that form near burned out stars, as described by Einstein-Rosen. And they function outside of space and time. So this is the concept of non-locality, which has finally been proven to be an explanation for these extrasensory, almost magical powers that human beings have. So this information answers so much of what the great writer Graham Hancock has said are the three primary questions. And that is, who are we? Where have we come from? And where are we going? Our memory is part of that. Our memory has been very stunted, but we are going to experience a profound upshift in our memory, and it is stored in our DNA. This is the truly profound awareness that's about to be experienced by us at this time. So remembering, and I'm putting a hyphen in there, remembering is healing. The ancient Egyptians described this in their story of Osiris, Isis, and Set, where Isis set about recovering the three parts of her husband Osiris. These are foundation myths. Every civilization has one, and we must pay attention to them and look upon them with new eyes, for they are profound. In my next talk, I will describe how there are dangers, very prevalent dangers, increasing dangers to the quality and function of our DNA. And I will also describe what we can do to affect our DNA function in a profoundly positive way. So until I see you again, I will sign out and wish you well. Namaste. May the universe smile and feel joy in all your endeavors.